Hi, my name's Tom Gibbons. Welcome to the CIS 3115 Introduction to Machine Learning course. I'm going to go over Unit 1 here and spend a couple minutes just introducing you to the course. Let's look at the course overview to start with. So the course is really a survey of a number of machine learning topics. We'll cover a number of different methods for machine learning and delve down into what is called deep learning and some of the newer methods and results from machine learning. We'll be using a language called Python. You'll be doing some programming in the course, but it's not a programming course. I'll have most of the programs developed and you will simply be modifying these. So you will learn some Python throughout the course, but again, it's not the course goal is not to teach you a Python. We'll also use a couple libraries, including TensorFlow and Keras, which are well-known machine learning libraries out there. There's no textbook for the course. We'll be using a wide number of learning resources available online for this. The course is largely project-based, but we'll also have weekly shared learning activities. So let me jump into the syllabus right away. So if you haven't already, you should read through the syllabus. So the syllabus is available here in this link. You can just read it. I'm going to jump to a different version of it so we can see it a little larger here. So this has my contact information and office hours here. I'll be doing a survey during the first week of class and probably adjusting these office hours depending on those survey results. But generally, I'm available most days between like 8 in the morning and 10 o'clock at night. This is my my cell phone number. A lot of students just text me with questions, or you can call me just about any time, or email me. And get responses or some combination of those. So this is a course that satisfies a natural science pathway, so we will be doing a fair amount of writing in this course. We will have one large paper due at the end as part of the final project, but you'll also be doing a fair amount of writing spread out through the different activities in the course. So here's how things are basically set up for assessment. There are about 7 projects we'll be doing. About every other week you'll do a project in the course. And that will involve, again, setting up some machine learning, running a machine learning algorithm, and then writing about your experience and reflecting on that. We'll do some project presentations here, and we'll see. We have a pretty large class this time, so I don't know. In the past, we've done a Zoom meeting for this, but we may look at some other alternatives. So we'll talk about that in a couple weeks. We have these learning activities. Every week we'll do a new unit, and every unit will have a learning activity. These, as it says in the intro course description, are kind of low stakes activities. So the learning activities are a good place to try things out and learn. You're encouraged to share your results in the discussion areas and share answers, work together on those, unlike the projects, which are a little higher stakes and more individual work. So learning activities, and again, you can ask me and I can just give you the answers to the learning activities if that'll help, or work you through them. We'll also have these discussion postings. So every unit you'll have to do a discussion post. So here's like unit 1 and 2 discussion threads, and you'll have to do two postings throughout the 2-week period here. And commonly you ask a question, you'll answer someone else's question, you'll provide a hint or a resource link. And again, this is especially with the learning activities, this is a good place to post questions and post answers, post sample code that you've created in your learning activity and things like that. Okay, so that's the discussion post, and again, we'll have a final paper and a final research kind of project at the end of the course. So let's look at, so the calendar is set up here just for those students who are online, we are using, who are on campus, we are using the online calendar this semester because this is largely an online course. So that means we do have a spring break in the online thing because on-campus students are not having a spring break. So if you are on campus, just realize this is an online course, and this semester we will have a spring break in the original spot here. So we'll have that week off. And then we also have an early Easter that fits in here. So this kind of just lays out the schedule. And you can, again, see a project every 2 weeks. Basically, we do a project, and then we spend the last 2 weeks working on the final paper and project throughout this course. So feel free to ask me questions, and there are links here to normal course policy, late work, COVID policies, expectations if you have some issues with this, how to raise those issues. And certainly feel free to contact me and start with me. In fact, that is the first link in this. So that's the syllabus for this course. So after the course overview, let's do a quick look at the software setup. Initially, throughout this course, you should have to do minimal software setup. You will need a PC that can access the internet, of course, and you're on an online course, so that's pretty expected. But we'll be using something called Google's Collaboratory, which is similar to Google Docs here. And then you can go here and sign in. You want to sign in with your CSS account for this. And then there's a welcome to Collaboratory example that you can turn off, and you actually will create a number of what are called notebooks for this stuff. But again, this we'll talk more about this, but we'll be using Google Collaboratory. It has the Python library already built into it, and most of the libraries we need for this, and so you'll be able to just get up and running with this without any setup at all. So that's the main thing. So one thing you can try is you can go through this and create a basic notebook and just make sure that you can log in with that. Now, if you really want to get into machine learning, and you don't have to do this now, maybe through when you're working on some of the more advanced projects, you might want to do this. But Google Collaboratory has some limits on how large a projects and moving huge databases into it, which you may run up to, particularly if you're doing an advanced final project or something like that. And again, if you have a fast machine, particularly like a gaming machine with a fast GPU processor in it, you might want to install something called Anaconda Python and set that up for machine learning. And then you can run these notebooks on your own computer and have large data sets and stuff. This is certainly optional, not required, but I just provide the information because some students want. And we'll revisit this later on. The first half of the course, you certainly aren't going to need this a lot. But when we get into some of the deep learning stuff, and certainly by the final project, maybe a quarter of you might want to consider doing this if you have the right PC and setting that up. So again, if you want to go learn more about this, these are the libraries we're going to be using and some links so we'll be using the Python library, we'll be using these Jupyter notebooks, and there's links to this. We'll be using Keras and TensorFlow, some well-known machine learning libraries for this. So, okay, so next, give you a chance to introduce yourself. We've got over 30 students in this class, so it'd be nice to do some quick introductions to everyone. So there is this introductory thread here. So we want to do some quick introductions with each other. So I'm sure you've done lots of beginning course introductions. I'm going to leave this kind of open-ended. You can say whatever you want in this intro. I suggest you start a new thread for each one here. And I actually think I prefer you just do a short video, do a short 30-second video or something like that. Introduce yourself. So just hit video and add a video note and set it up that way. So I'll be adding my video introduction in just a sec here. Okay, so that's the intros. And then let's talk a little bit about machine learning resources. So there are a lot of machine learning resources out here that are available online, either free or at very little cost. And so I think one of my goals here is to kind of go through some of these hundreds of resources out here and pick out some that you might want to do. Some of these are good to be doing in parallel to the course, and some of them are better to be done after the course if you want to learn and go on and learn more about machine learning. So here's some of the most used things I'll be using in this course. um, some different environments. So again, Kaggle is a website we'll be using for a number of competitions for machine learning, and they have some nice learning resources there. Google has a number of good resources that we'll be using, and towards data science and this machine learning blog I find useful at various times. There are some well-known courses out here. Now, often these require calculus, linear algebra, and stats as prerequisites for them. So they may not be suitable for most of you. So again, one of my goals in this course is to do a machine learning course with minimal math prerequisites. We'll be using some statistics, but we'll introduce those as needed as we go in the course. And with today's modern tools, you can often understand the concepts of machine learning without necessarily the back theory. And you can, but if you're interested in that, these courses provide excellent introductions to these here. So here's Stanford's, MIT's, and Berkeley's courses that you might want to review. So a couple machine learning textbooks. This first one is I teach a graduate version of the course, and this is the textbook I use for this. And this is the book, if I were to pick a textbook for this course, this is probably the textbook I'd use, although I'm not here. But this book follows the format of this course pretty closely here. So if you're looking to have a book to read, this isn't a bad one to pick up. I have links to the Amazon and O'Reilly things for that. Now there's a couple free books are out there, so these are some links to some different free resources that are available, and a couple other links. So there's some interactive lessons here on statistics here, some cool visualization introduction to statistics here, and then library. So just kind of a various hodgepodge of resources I just found very interesting here for these resources. Okay, so that's the intro to this course. Feel free to get started on Unit 1 and in particular the learning activity for that unit. Also feel free to give me a text, call, email if you have any questions. Good luck.